There's been a lot of talk about Janet Jackson's past relationship with her ex-husband, Qatari billionaire Wissam Al Mana, but do people really know the full extent of what she went through? Was Janet truly being manipulated and controlled, or did she simply stay in the marriage to fulfill a contract and secure a reported $200 million payout? Well, recent revelations suggest that things were worse than many imagined. Janet was essentially a prisoner in her own home. And today we're diving deep into this messy situation. As you may recall, Janet and Wissam tied the knot in 2012. During their marriage, they welcomed their son, Isa Al-Mana, on January 3, 2017. However, just a few months later, in April of the same year, news broke that they had gone their separate ways, which Janet later confirmed.
I just want to keep it real with you guys for a second. Yes, I separated from my husband. We are in court, and the rest is in God's hands. Now for that
From the very beginning, there were red flags. Those close to Janet warned her about Wissam's controlling nature, with some even suggesting she was being brainwashed. Her family, particularly her sister LaToya, reportedly never approved of the marriage. In fact, LaToya once mentioned that she wasn't even aware Janet had gotten married until she heard about it in the media. It's been said that Janet originally wanted a grand, star-studded wedding, but she compromised on Wissam's demand for a low-key ceremony to align with his conservative beliefs. And that was just the first of many sacrifices she would make throughout their marriage. Reports suggest that during visits to Wissam's family in Qatar, Janet abandoned her signature makeup and hair extensions, opting instead for traditional attire. She even altered her performances, replacing her signature sensual lyrics with the phrase Inshallah, meaning a God willing, and incorporating Arabic elements into her music. To accommodate Wissam's lifestyle, Janet relocated to London. The couple also had a residence in Doha, Qatar, and an apartment in Trump Tower, New York. However, she allegedly grew frustrated with Wissam's refusal to meet her friends and family, as well as his insistence on keeping her away from the public eye. This increasing isolation led to more changes. She canceled the UK and European legs of her 2016 tour just days before it was set to begin, to focus on starting a family with Wissam. At that point, he had already dictated her appearance and behavior, and she began feeling like she was losing not only her fan base, but also her own identity. The situation escalated after their son was born. Cultural differences became even more apparent, and Wissam allegedly imposed stricter rules on Janet. While she was married to him, she adopted a more private lifestyle, wearing conservative clothing that covered her completely. Sources claim Wissam forbade her from leaving the house while she was nursing their baby, and they constantly clashed over parenting styles. Eventually, they decided to part ways. However, their split wasn't just about cultural differences. Janet's brother, Randy Jackson, publicly revealed that she had endured verbal abuse in the marriage, often being called derogatory names and feeling like a prisoner in her own home. Speaking to People magazine, he shared that there was a lot of pain in Janet's life, and she had even broken down in tears during performances on multiple occasions. He also dismissed the idea that their issues were religious, stating that he had many Muslim friends who did not behave the way Wissam did. According to Randy, it was a personal issue that Wissam needed help with. It was also reported that Wissam showed little concern for Janet's family, particularly her mother, Katherine Jackson, who was going through a difficult time. Given that Janet had always been close to her mother, Wissam's lack of support only deepened the rift between them. Wissam, on the other hand, denied all allegations. After news of their separation broke, he updated his website with a passage from the Quran about patience in adversity and posted a heartfelt message addressed to Janet, calling her the most beautiful person in the world and thanking her for her love and support. His lawyers also released a statement saying that Wissam would not dignify the accusations with a response, emphasizing that his primary concern was the well-being and privacy of their son, Isa. Despite this, the tension between them seemed to continue. In 2018, Janet called the police to check on her son while he was with Wissam. Reports claimed that Isa's nanny was frightened by Wissam's aggressive behavior, and there were also claims that Janet was concerned about what her ex-husband might be doing around their child. Though they settled the matter privately, insiders later revealed that Janet still wasn't fully over the trauma of the marriage and that it had even affected her ability to move on romantically. Of course, not everyone sympathized with Janet. Some critics argued that she was the problem, pointing out that she had struggled to maintain relationships in the past. Others speculated that her marriage to Wissam was purely transactional, considering the terms of their prenuptial agreement. Reportedly, Janet was set to receive $100 million if the marriage lasted at least 5 years and another $100 million if she gave birth to a male child. Many found it suspicious that she separated from Wissam shortly after hitting the 5-year mark and having a son. To provide more context, Janet's past relationships have also faced scrutiny. She was once linked to Magic Johnson in 1983 when she was just 16, sparking controversy. She later eloped with musician James DeBarge at 18, allegedly to escape her controlling father, Joe Jackson. However, James' struggles with addiction led to the downfall of their marriage. Over the years, rumors persisted that Janet had a secret child with James, though she denied them. Afterward, she was in a long-term but secret marriage with songwriter and director Rene Elizondo Jr. in 1991, which only became public when he filed for divorce in 2000. Later, she dated Jermaine Dupri for several years before they parted ways, reportedly due to infidelity. Other rumored relationships included actor Matthew McConaughey, rapper Q-Tip, and comedian Bill Bellamy, though none were officially confirmed. Given this history, some people argue that Janet is simply unable to maintain a relationship, while others believe she was a victim of toxic partners. So what do you think? Was Janet trapped in an emotionally abusive marriage, or was this just another case of her struggling to make a relationship work? And do you think the financial arrangement played a role in her decision to stay? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.